Hey there! Ever feel like being a good, kind-hearted person just doesn't cut it in the real world? Like, no matter how nice you try to be, the pushy, sneaky folks always seem to get ahead? Well, you're not alone, and we've got the 16th century OG of political wisdom, Niccolò Machiavelli, to shed some serious light on why nice guys finish last. Stick around, because this won't be your average history lesson. We're breaking down why sometimes you gotta be a little ruthless to get what you want, and how being too nice might actually be holding you back. Who was Machiavelli, anyway? All right, quick intro. Machiavelli was this political thinker from Florence in the 1500s. Yeah, way before influencers and CEOs, but his ideas are still popping off today. He saw politics and power in the rawest, most brutal way. The good guys who play by the rules, they often get steamrolled. Meanwhile, the bad guys who lie, cheat, and charm their way to the top, they're the ones who run the show. He flipped the idea of morality on its head, saying it's not enough just to be good-hearted. You gotta be effective. And sometimes that means borrowing the nasty tricks of the most cunning players out there. Sounds harsh? Yeah, it is, but it's real talk for anyone trying to make it in a cutthroat world. Why being nice doesn't always win. Here's the dirty truth Machiavelli nailed. If you want to create real change, earn respect, or get ahead, you can't just be nice. That's the story we all hear. Be kind, be patient, and things will work out. But history? It tells a different story. Look at Jesus of Nazareth, arguably the kindest guy ever, right? According to the Christian story, he's the ultimate role model for goodness. But Machiavelli points out that in his own lifetime, Jesus got mocked, betrayed, and executed. From a purely practical, down-to-earth perspective, he was a total loser in that world. Machiavelli argued that the world works another way. The wicked win because they'll do what it takes. That means lying, breaking promises, bullying, or seducing. They don't get stuck in the "I must be pure" mindset, and that gives them a massive edge. What the Prince really says, not just a tyrant's guide. A lot of folks think Machiavelli's The Prince is a handbook for tyrants, evil rulers who abuse power, but that's the surface-level take. It's actually advice for good people who want to survive and thrive without getting trampled. Machiavelli's key message: be as nice as you want, but never let yourself be a sucker for niceness. You have to be ready to play the game on its real terms. That means knowing every ruthless trick in the book, just in case you have to pull it out. He said a prince, or leader, or anyone with ambitions should appear virtuous, kind, honest, caring, but underneath, be ready to act differently if the situation calls for it. The art is in balancing charm with cunning, kindness with strength, and trustworthiness with cold calculation. How this applies to us today. Think about the many arenas where this plays out. Politics, business, social circles, it's everywhere. Politicians who only play nice often get steamrolled by opponents willing to go dirty. Businesses led by overly idealistic leaders can lose out to competitors who manipulate, bluff, or outmaneuver them. Even in personal relationships, folks who only do the right thing without savvy can get walked over. Now, this doesn't mean you should become a backstabber or jerk overnight. Machiavelli isn't telling us to lose our humanity. He's saying we need strategic awareness. Sometimes that means tough decisions, standing your ground, showing strength, or letting go of the fantasy that people will always appreciate your kindness. You gotta be willing to wear the armor of realism. Questions that make you think. Let's get the gears turning. Q1. Can being too nice actually sabotage your success? Absolutely. If you avoid conflict or always put others first to a fault, you risk letting people walk all over you or missing chances to push for what you deserve. Q2.
Does this mean being ruthless is better than being kind? Not quite. The trick is balance. Machiavelli advises appearing kind and virtuous, but being prepared to act decisively and strategically when needed. Kindness has its place, but it can't be your only strategy. Q3. How do you learn to use bad tactics without losing your integrity? This is the million-dollar question. It's about knowing the game, protecting your interests, and sometimes playing hardball, but never becoming someone you can't respect. Think of it like carrying a Swiss Army knife. Only pull out the tool you really need and use it wisely. Why Machiavelli still matters. So why do we care about a guy from the 1500s? Because his ideas cut through the sugar coating on how power and success really work. They force us to face uncomfortable truths. Good intentions alone aren't enough. And if you want to change the world or get ahead, you need to be effective in some ways that don't feel nice. If you're tired of being overlooked or feel like others get ahead with shady moves while you stick to playing fair, Machiavelli whispers, don't just wish it was a nicer world. Learn how to win in the world you've got. That's the real power move. All right, that's a wrap. Next time you feel stuck because you're too good or too honest, remember Machiavelli's cold wisdom. Being nice is great, but being effective is better. Use that brain and hustle smarter, not harder, or just harder but with strategy. Got questions about being nice but smart with it? Drop them below. And if you want more deep dives on history's greatest mind hacks, hit that subscribe and ring the bell. Catch you next time, and remember, it's all about playing the game like a boss.